Good afternoon. Welcome to the FXReturn.com Market Quickview Report for Thursday, October 16th, 2008. It's coming up on 15:45 GMT, 11:45 a.m. on the East Coast, and we just digested some core CPI data from the U.S. So there's a lot going on in the markets. The Euro's trading right now 34.20 in the background. Big level is this 33.41. As I think breaks below that could push 29.30. Onwards to the bottom of the trend channel and looking at much deeper levels. To the upside, so looking back at the euro, it now trading, dipping down into the 34.09. There's a very important level here around the 3400 before we get to the 33.41. When we look at the chart, still in a downtrend, but our stochastics are kind of turning over a little bit, but it hadn't really got above 80s to come through, so it is kind of meandering in here. But this is an important support line onwards to 33.41. A close at that level may push lower levels. When we look at the daily chart, you can see that we're trading well below even the 50-day exponential moving average, and the MACD trading at 0.268 is still deeper than the trigger at 0.233. So it's still pushing to the downside right now. Not a lot of momentum to the upside, I can tell you. And 34.11 as we seem to be moving a little bit further. We have a shorter term kind of a shoulder, head, shoulder situation, but the market would have to break back up through 38.10 to consider a buy position, in my opinion, as long as we still trade 65 over 56 to the downside, and stochastics need to come back up through the 20 line for us to be able to see some of that stuff happen. If not, and it does break that containment line, that would be a failed reverse head and shoulders, which could be equally powerful to the downside. When we look at the pound versus US dollar, 72.11 right now in the downtrend that we can see. This is the daily chart, 72.19, 18. And the moving averages are crossed. This seems to be the prevalent downtrend channel, falling away from average. MACD still deeper than the trigger. And we're going to have to see the bottom of these trend channels, how much support they provide at the pound at 69.80, as we've just come through our 72.70 support zone. So you have 69.80 below it, onwards to 6,500. To the top side, you got that 72.70, and then I would call 74.70 in the pound. New Zealand dollar still trading down 60.88 in what appears to be a downtrend. Not a lot of momentum either way right now in the New Zealand dollar. Euro yen 134.79, tested these upper limits, closed back below the trend line. MACD still pushing to the downside, stochastics still buried. You got to look at the important level in euro yen, 131.80, with resistance at 35.80 and 39.78. That euro yen's been moving with the Dow. You see we're falling and falling now. MACD still deeper. Stochastics still buried, 34.69. Euro yen's following suit. This is the weekly at the 137 level, but the MACD is working its way to outpace the oscillator. And in a downtrend with these stochastics crossed when they turned it to moving average, Euro yen is pulling yen right down with it. On the opposite side of the coin, we have dollar Swiss, which is moving upwards right now. It's a little flat right now as we consolidate to appears to be like a AB combo to the upside. As you see, the Canadian dollar has exploded off this wave one in a third wave right now, looking for a 2.618 target. And we can start to look at the levels that we achieved a little earlier on the first shot up, as we seem to be gaining momentum. In the dollar Canadian, we just hit the 119.21 target level, and we've moved up 48 points since that. So the next level is 21.21 in the dollar Canadian. Support resides 15.78, and then the retouch of this old trend line is 13.15. Dollar Canadian 1-2. We've been following. We saw this. We came back up through the 20 in an uptrend. MACD was building. Boom, third wave. Not seeing the full follow through in dollar Swiss yet. Dollar yen moving the opposite direction, in fact, as it's being pulled down by the euro yen, still holding at 34.50 level, with New Zealand had led the way on the downside, the pound 72.06 and the euro 34.06. So important levels around that 33.80 level would see breaches to 33.41. And any breaks above this neckline here, if this market does hold and breaks above that neckline, then you would have a reverse head and shoulder pattern, and you could prepare for that. So this has been the Market Quick View for Thursday, the 16th of October. It's been a very, very interesting week, but if you look at the chart, going back the last 4 or 5 months, everything seems to be in perfect order in the euro. So thanks so much for following along today. This has been your Quick View report from FXReturn.com. Have a great day.